something feels different. And you're not imagining it. Because the moment that music hits, the lights flash, and the ring appears, a lot of fans feel it instantly. WWE today doesn't hit the same way it used to. Not better. Not worse for everyone. Just different. And the reason isn't one single thing. It's a collision of changes, choices, pressure, and evolution that reshaped the entire soul of the product. Years ago, WWE felt unpredictable. You tuned in because anything could happen. A shocking return. A title change nobody saw coming. A microphone moment that felt dangerous, like someone might actually say something they weren't supposed to. Today, everything feels more controlled, more polished, more carefully managed. And that polish? For some fans, it feels like the edge got sanded off. The business is bigger than it has ever been. Billion-dollar TV deals. Global partnerships. Corporate sponsorships. Mainstream acceptance. WWE is no longer just a wrestling company, it's a publicly watched entertainment brand. And when a brand grows that big, risk becomes the enemy. Stories are written to avoid controversy. Promos are shaped to protect advertisers. Characters are guided so they don't step outside approved lines. That raw, chaotic energy fans grew up with slowly gets replaced by structure. Back then, the product felt personal. Wrestlers talked like real people. Feuds felt emotional, sometimes uncomfortable. Now, a lot of criticism points to scripted dialogue sounding too clean, too safe, too similar. Fans notice when passion sounds rehearsed instead of lived. When emotion feels planned instead of exploding naturally. Another reason WWE feels different today is how much fans know. The internet changed everything. Behind-the-scenes news travels faster than the shows themselves. Contract talks, creative disagreements, injuries, canceled plans, nothing stays secret anymore. When you already know what's coming, surprise loses power. Even the biggest moments get dissected before they happen, and that kills the magic. The way stories are paced has changed too. Long-term storytelling is praised, but it also tests patience. Fans today wait months, sometimes years, for payoffs. When it works, it's incredible. When it doesn't, it feels exhausting. Some viewers miss the fast-moving chaos where one episode could flip everything upside down. WWE also feels different because the audience is different. The company now speaks to multiple generations at once. Kids, adults, longtime fans, casual viewers, international audiences, all watching for different reasons. Trying to please everyone means nobody gets exactly what they want. Some fans crave violence and intensity. Others want athletic showcases. Others want drama and emotion. Balancing all of that changes the tone of the show. Look at how top stars are presented. Roman Reigns represents dominance built slowly, methodically, almost cinematically. John Cena represented hustle, loyalty, and mainstream crossover. The Rock was explosive charisma, unpredictability, and raw confidence. Seth Rollins reflects modern adaptability, constantly reinventing himself. Becky Lynch changed how women are viewed in wrestling history. CM Punk symbolizes rebellion, honesty, and speaking uncomfortable truths. These 6 names alone show how eras shift, not just in style, but in philosophy. Another criticism fans repeat is that moments don't breathe anymore. Big matches end, and the show moves on quickly. Emotional reactions are cut short. Celebrations feel rushed. Older WWE let moments sit in silence or chaos, letting the crowd tell the story. Today's faster pacing keeps attention high but sacrifices emotional weight. Production plays a role too. Camera cuts are quicker. Presentation is flashier. Everything looks perfect, sometimes too perfect. When nothing feels messy, nothing feels real. Fans often say they miss imperfections because imperfections made it human. And then there's nostalgia, the most powerful filter of all. Fans don't just miss old WWE. They miss who they were when they watched it. No responsibilities. No burnout. No social media arguments. Today's WWE is competing not only with other entertainment, but with memory itself, and memory always wins unfairly. Still, different doesn't mean dead. WWE today is safer, more inclusive, more global than ever. Wrestlers are protected better. Careers last longer. Stories are crafted with intention. The company listens to feedback more than it ever did before. But in doing all that, it traded danger for stability, chaos for consistency. And here's where it all comes together, because the ending of this conversation is the hardest part for fans to accept. What people are really missing isn't a specific match, a specific storyline, or a specific era. They're missing the feeling of unpredictability in their own lives. Wrestling used to be an escape where anything could happen, where rules were broken, where authority felt challengeable. Today, the world itself feels controlled, scheduled, and constantly watched, and the product reflects that reality. It mirrors the times we're living in. That's why every change feels louder now. Every creative decision feels personal. Every segment is judged instantly. There's no time for moments to grow naturally because opinions hit before reactions do. Fans aren't just watching anymore, they're analyzing, comparing, debating, and mourning what they think is gone forever. But here's the truth that doesn't get talked about enough: if the product stayed exactly the same, it wouldn't survive. The chaos of the past worked because it belonged to the past. Trying to recreate it today would feel forced, fake, and empty. What once felt rebellious would now feel irresponsible. What once felt shocking would now feel outdated. The difference you feel isn't a loss of passion. It's a shift in purpose. The company no longer exists just to shock the audience for one night, it exists to last for decades. To reach every corner of the world. To create moments that can live beyond one generation. That kind of vision requires restraint, patience, and control, even when fans scream for madness. And deep down, fans don't want the past back. They want to feel the way the past made them feel. That feeling of rushing home. That feeling of heart racing. That feeling of not knowing what comes next. And maybe that feeling doesn't come from the screen anymore. Maybe it comes from realizing that wrestling didn't change to hurt the fans, it changed because the fans, the world, and time itself changed first. And even after all of that, the conversation still isn't finished, because this feeling doesn't fade when the show goes off the air. It follows fans long after the final bell, long after the music cuts, long after the screen goes dark. That lingering sense of something's missing isn't anger, it's attachment. It's proof of how deeply this world once connected to people. What fans are really struggling with is the idea that magic is fragile. It doesn't survive repetition forever. Once you understand how something works, once you see the strings, once the curtain is pulled back again and again, the wonder changes shape. It doesn't disappear, it matures. And maturity is quieter than chaos, calmer than shock, less explosive than surprise. The product today asks viewers to watch differently. Not with blind belief, but with patience. Not waiting for instant explosions, but for slow burns. Not craving constant rebellion, but meaning behind decisions. That shift feels uncomfortable, especially for those who grew up when everything felt louder, faster, and more dangerous. And here's the hardest truth: no era ever realizes it's special while it's happening. People complained back then too. They said it was going downhill. They said it wasn't the same. Time turned those complaints into nostalgia. The same thing will happen again. Years from now, today will be remembered as back when it was good, even by people criticizing it right now. Because wrestling isn't just about what happens in the ring, it's about when it happens in your life. The memories are powerful because they're tied to moments when life felt simpler, when excitement came easily, when belief didn't require effort. You're not chasing old storylines. You're chasing old emotions. And maybe the real reason it feels different is because fans now expect perfection. They want every segment to matter, every match to deliver, every moment to be legendary. That kind of expectation is impossible to satisfy. Legends aren't built overnight, and history can't be forced on demand. So the silence between big moments feels louder now. The waiting feels longer. The payoff feels harder to earn, but that doesn't mean it's empty. It means it's evolving. The fire didn't go out, it changed temperature. The chaos didn't vanish, it learned restraint. The passion didn't die, it grew discipline. And one day, without realizing it, a moment will hit again. Unexpected. Emotional. Powerful. And fans will feel that familiar rush, not because the past returned, but because the present finally caught them off guard. And when that happens, people won't say, "It feels different." They'll say, "This is why I never stopped watching." Because as long as people still argue, still care, still debate, still feel disappointed and hopeful at the same time, this world is alive. And something that still makes people feel this much was never truly lost in the first place.